Hello everyone. In this video I will give a quick overview of the DartHog, a 3D printed magazine-fed pump-action pistol crossbow that is now in the last stages of development, and cover the biggest challenges I met during its design. As soon as I complete the designs and print a functional full-scale model, I'll put the STL files for free download on DartHog.weebly.com with detailed instructions on how to print and assemble your own full-size or scaled DartHog pistol crossbow. So, the idea is simple. A portable compound crossbow that you can draw quickly without taking your eyes off target and without taking your hands off the grips. The idea actually came to me watching Joerg's instant Legolas invention on the YouTube channel, the Slingshot Channel. I tried to push it a little further by using interchangeable magazines and a compound bow. Being 3D printed, the frame can't survive high loads, thus the more efficient compound bow configuration makes a lot of sense. Obviously, a few parts can't be 3D printed, namely the bow limbs, structural shafts, and a few bolts and pins. The 4 bow limbs and structural shafts are all 10mm fiberglass rods, very cheap and available material. The bow limbs are held in place by 2 16mm long M5 bolts that cross side to side. This way, minimal stress is put on the 3D printed part. A few additional 4mm pins will be required for moving parts, like the cams, trigger, rolling nut, magazine clip, arrow feeders, etc. The cam pins obviously need to be rather strong, but for all the others, wooden pins should be fine. The trigger mechanism uses a rolling nut like medieval crossbows, except that in this case, the nut locks in the open position after a shot is fired, and then locked in the closed position by the string when the crossbow is being drawn. Although the trigger and nut springs are 3D printed, they appear to be very reliable in the tests I conducted so far. There are many challenges in making an idea a reality, especially given the constraints of 3D printing and the size of my 3D printer. While standard PLA 3D printing can be surprisingly strong, its weakness is definitely layer adhesion, and 3D printed parts are quite weak if you apply stress across the layers. For this reason, each part of the crossbow needs to be printed with a particular orientation and also designed to be printed at the given orientation without requiring supports. The DartHog is now very different from the first design, as I keep printing, testing, improving, and then reprinting each part over and over again. In order to accelerate the printing process and minimize the PLA waste, I'm printing everything half size, using 5mm fiberglass rods for the limbs and shafts. I will print the DartHog full size once I get a perfectly functional half-size model, hopefully soon. The biggest head scratcher so far is definitely the magazine, that has already been completely redesigned several times. The challenge is making a simple system that reliably keeps the bolts in the magazine and releases them only when the magazine is inserted in the crossbow. The design I'm working on at the moment, and which is the most promising so far, is completely 3D printed in one single piece, except for the 2 arrow feeders which apply a constant pressure on the arrow stack with the help of a simple rubber band. The magazine appears to be working fine, although I'm still in the process of printing a new crossbow to test it, since this new version magazine doesn't fit on the older design DartHog. I also struggle finding half-size bolts, and thus will probably need to order some 4mm fiberglass rods to cut out a few bolts, since the DartHog is designed for 8mm thick, 6 inches long crossbow bolts, as these seem to be fairly common and cheap. Let me know in the comments if you suggest another type of pistol crossbow bolts for this project. The stock can be removed, thus making it a pistol crossbow. But I believe that it will be a lot easier to draw with the stock, as you will be pulling with the left hand as the crossbow rests against your shoulder, versus pulling with your left hand while trying to counteract with the right hand. Next video will be about the final full-scale DartHog and how to assemble it. I will also put the STL files for free download on DartHog.weebly.com. Thank you for watching.